Hey everyone, welcome back to day 2. Today we're working a little bit on opening the chest. It's winter time, so we get a kind of cold, rounded, shivering feeling, and we're just gonna roll those shoulders on back and open the chest wide today. So let's go ahead and get started lying down on your backs. So let's take the arms long by your sides and take both legs long out in front of you. And now we're just going to do a quick body scan. So we're going to zip the heels together, let the toes be slightly apart so that you can really squeeze the backs of your legs all the way up through your seat. You're squeezing your seat. You're zipping up that tight jacket, going through, tightening the belt, and then pulling your vest together in the front. Now I'm going to have you press your palms down by your sides. We're going to start with an exercise called chest expansion. So we're going to take a big deep breath in, hold your breath, and push with all of your might into the floor. So your palms, your forearms, your triceps, the backs of the shoulders are all pinning down into the mat, and you might feel your shoulder blades lightly squeezing. And now if you're pressing hard enough, you'll feel a little shake, a little tremble of truth in the backs of the thighs. And I want you to make sure that you're not popping those ribs out and creating a lot of space between the ribs and the floor, but we're keeping it pretty neutral with that whole action, the vest action going in the front. So keep pressing. We're here and we're holding the breath, and then we're just going to exhale and let it go. Let's do that a couple more times. Big breath in, press into the floor. And although this is called chest expansion, it's a full body exercise. So you're squeezing your thighs, you're squeezing your seat, you're pulling those abs in and up with your jacket, belt, vest, and the arms are working so freaking hard. My triceps are burning. And then you're going to exhale and let it go. One more time. Inhale, push into the floor. This is our last one, so give it all you got. Hold it 5. Deeper 4. Dial up that tension 3 and 2 and 1. And then exhale and let it go. Now from here, I'm going to have you bend your right knee into your chest. Take that leg straight up to the ceiling. Good. And now I want you to keep working about 50% of your chest expansion through that upper body. So your triceps are on, no dead arms. They're pushing into the floor. Let's bend that right knee back in and then extend it up. And now that upper body is really undisturbed. Bend and stretch. One more time, bend and stretch, hold it up there. And now we're going to draw some circles with the leg, cross it over, around, and up. Now here's what we're doing. As we circle, keep it going, push that left heel into the floor, and then press your arms down into the mat. The shoulders stay pinned, and really nothing is moving in your body except that leg. And your muscles are working to help stabilize across and around and back up. Now let's go ahead and reverse it 5 times. Outside and inside, and lift it. And a 4, and around, and a up, and a 3. Keep pushing into the floor. Keep opening your chest. One more time. Leg to the sky. Send it all the way down to meet the floor. Whew, that's tough. Let's bend the left knee in. Are we still pushing to the floor? Yes. Still zipping up the jacket, keeping the belt on? Yes. Extend that leg up. Hold it there. Think of stretching through both legs here. So we want both legs super long. Bend the knee. Extend it back up. And you might feel a shake in the front of your thigh. That's okay. Bend the knee. Extend it up. Keep pushing arms into the mat. One more time. Bend the knee. Extend it up. Hold it there. Now we have 5 circles each way. Cross over, around, and up. And a 4, and around, and a lift. And 3 more, and around, and up. And last 2, around, and lift. 1 more, around, and up. Now reverse 5 times. 5, cross over, push your hands into the mat. 4, cross over, shoulders into the mat. 3, cross over, shoulder blades pull together. 2, cross over, abs are in and up. 1, cross over, leg to the sky. Now send that leg all the way down. Awesome. Now we're just going to take the arms and float them up. Whew, they're light as a feather. Send them all the way back behind you and then float them back forward. This is a nice little stretch. We want to just keep everything knitted down in the front as we do this. Arms float up and back to get a nice stretch in your shoulders and armpits, and then they float forward again. One more time. Arms float up and back and float them up again. Now we're just going to draw some big circles. Arms float up and back. They open, they circle around towards your hips, and they lift up and open and circle around. Keep this really intentional, lots of energy through your fingertips, and keeping the shoulders in a safe working range of motion. So if you're feeling like lots of creaky, cracklies, and some resistance in your shoulders, just make the circles smaller. Do that for your body. Arms reach back and they open. They circle around, and we'll reverse it. So the arms will open out to the side, they'll reach back, and they'll go forward again for 5 times. And they open. Keep breathing. Keep your tight jacket on. This is a full body exercise. Keep squeezing your legs tight together. Pilates is about control. It's about the details. So we'll keep that going. One more circle here. Go ahead and finish your circle out. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest and just rock and roll up to sit. Soft legs. Let's step the feet down onto the mat. Then we're just going to slide the hands back behind you with your fingertips facing back. Now, I want you to kind of work here a little bit, soft elbows, and squeeze your shoulder blades together, rolling your collarbones open. Now, I don't care what your lower body does at all, but I want you to keep your back flat. So you're leaning back in a diagonal through your spine. And now from here, you're just going to start to slowly bend your elbows straight back. And as you do this, keep your shoulders down and away from your ears. So if you feel the shoulders start to come up and forward, you've gone too far. And then we're going to press back up to straight elbows. And again, bending the elbows back, keeping your tight jacket on, keeping your spine nice and long and your chest lifted, and then press up. And again, this might feel like a really deep stretch for your chest. That's kind of the point. So if it's too much, you can always widen your hands like I just did. And back up. Now, if you're really open here, you can maybe even start to set part of your forearm down on the mat as you send those elbows back for an extra deep stretch. That's not for me today. I can't get there today. That's okay. Reaching back, let's bend that elbows, and you might start to feel your arms work as well. This is kind of a push-up disguised as a chest opener stretch. Ain't that the way? One more time. Hinging back from the hips, nice and tall through the spine. The abs are in, the elbows straight back, and you're all the way back up to long elbows. Now let's sit in a comfortable position. I'm going to bring my soles of feet together with knees open wide here. And I'm just going to take my hands together and interlace my fingers behind my back. Now from here, I'm going to draw my chin down into my chest, rounding through my spine and pulling my abdominals in and up to help support my spine in this position. And from here, I'm just going to take the arms and gently lift them up and back behind me. Now, if this is not available to you for your shoulders, go ahead and grab maybe a hand towel, a band, something close by, and you can grab on and just kind of lift up and back like this to give your shoulders a little more space to do that. Good. And we're stretching, and then we'll bend the elbows. Keep interlacing your fingers if they're there. Keep a hold on your prop if you have it. And then we'll stretch up and back. We're still lifting the powerhouse. That's your abdominals. In and up. Head is heavy. Easy, easy neck. Good. And you definitely want to avoid looking up in this position. So drop that top of the head down into the floor. Let's lift up and back here, squeezing your shoulder blades. And then soften your elbows. One more time, reaching up and back for that stretch. Ooh, it's so good. And then softening the elbows down. Now, from here, let's sit up really tall. Maybe a crisscross applesauce position if it feels comfortable for you. Anything will do for your lower body. Let's bring the hands behind the head with the elbows open to the side walls. Now, from here, I want you to look up and open your elbows as far as you can. You're going to reach them back behind you if you can, depending on how open your chest is. So we're coming into this lifted upper back position for a big stretch, and the hands are supporting the head as you look up at the sky. Now from here, let's round the back and pull the elbows forward for a nice rounded stretch. We'll do that a couple more times. Open the chest wide, open the elbows wide as you look up to the ceiling, and then exhale, round it forward. With your breath, we'll inhale and look up elbows pull back, and exhale, round it forward. One more time. Inhale, look up, elbows pull back, and exhale. Amazing. Round it forward for one last stretch here. So good. All right, now let's go ahead and stack the spine up tall. Bend your knees, step feet down on the floor, and roll on down to the mat with arms by your sides. From here, I want you to come back into your chest expansion position. We're going to add some fire to it. So now let's press down into the feet and lift the hips up to the sky into a nice bridge. And from here, you're really going to drive those arms down into the floor. Squeeze your glutes, and we hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then roll your spine down on 1. Let's go again. Lifting up, pressing the triceps into the floor, letting your collarbones roll open. We hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Melt it all the way down. And one last time, press into the hands. Oh, my arms are getting tired. Lift those hips up. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, as you roll your hips down, let's float the arms up to the ceiling. And now let's press into the feet, lift the hips to the sky, and then push your palms into the front of your thighs. Wrist creases meet your hip creases, and you get rid of any negative space. And now I want you to push those arms down, really press them down for 5, for 4, for 3, and 2. Oh my goodness. And then let the arms float up as you send your hips back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift the hips up, and with all your might, press for 5, for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Lower the hips and float the arms. One more time. Press those hips up and push your hands into the thighs. And now I want you to think of making your arms even longer and then really pressing down, rolling the collarbones open. We're here for 5 more counts, and 4, and 3, and a 2, and a 1. And then you can go ahead and lower your hips, reach your arms up. Let's hug those knees into the chest, rock and roll up to a tall seated position. And you are all done for your day 2. Don't forget to take a moment to check in with yourself today and see how you're feeling after this Pilates practice. I will see you on the mat tomorrow for day 3.